Welcome back to the PokeTrap. Today we're going to briefly discuss Unlisted Leaf's return to YouTube and his recent controversy in the Pokemon community. To recap the situation, Unlisted Leaf held a box break hosted on October 8th, 2021 on StockX.com. The price for entry into this online event costed $50, and said individuals would get to see their cards opened up on a streaming platform like Twitch or YouTube. The individual who paid entry would receive the contents of 3 Pokemon Celebrations packs after the packs were opened on the stream. For those of you who are unfamiliar with a box break is an online event where an individual or group will often open a box of cards and sell the packs to the viewers live on the stream. Many people buy these packs from their favorite streamers as a fun event and an almost personal experience.
So what exactly went wrong? Unlike the traditional box break where your streamer's in front of the camera opening the pack for you directly, there was 4 separate cameras in the middle showing different hands, four different pack openings at one time, basically sharing their pack opening time with other people instead of how it usually is one person at a time. So you lost a lot of that, quick.
You only had a small window of time to watch your packs get opened.
It lost a little bit of the sentimental value for some of the people that were here, maybe unlisted, say their name or, announce, hey, this is their pack coming up. And, sometimes people watch in, they tune in, it's a whole event, they're at home, with their families or whoever they purchase the packs with. And they're there watching it, so it was a little, I think that was one of the issues that people were having. I think another issue that went wrong was the pricing. Kind of don't blame Unlisted too much. I feel we can all agree that we all expect the celebrations to be a little more expensive than it was.
It was a really hyped up stuff.
Yeah, exactly, and it's still being restocked at Walmart, Target. You're able to find it. It's not as hard to find. So I think he wasn't doing that on purpose, but he was just thinking with the hype. It was maybe a proper estimation of what he thought would be the value of the packs, and it didn't go in that direction. You can get a whole ETB for about $50. That comes with 10 packs. Yeah. And that this is one thing that I feel like people fail to recognize, that this is a business. Unlisted, he's a businessman. He's a YouTube content creator. I know he does a lot for the community. But at the end of the day, to keep him going and everything, he has to make money off of this stuff and, not be so harsh and to give him some type of, compassion when they're being, mad at him for some of the stuff.
He mentioned that all of the Charizards that ended up getting pulled that day or that night, those are all getting PSA graded.
That was an agreement they had, basically, that if you pull the Charizard, it was worth sending
the
PSA?
top cards, the top cards of the set would be PSA graded.
Oh, okay.
Yeah,
okay,
exactly,
okay.
And that was on the listing. I think some people got confused and maybe thought many cards would get graded out of that. After the Charizards are graded, I think there was maybe a few under, and those might get graded as well.
Gotcha. And then the confusion with that is weird, because you're like, where's my cards at? And then there's some people that did my card get graded? They're wondering if their card got graded or what.
So everybody's hoping for a grading, and then come to find out, only those select few are getting the grading. But the website clearly states that it's only the top end cards.
Okay. That's what it seems like. A lot of people were a little confused, you know what I mean, and a little bit I guess underwhelmed. They're left with that little oh man, this wasn't what I thought I was gonna get out of this. It wasn't that special, I guess, to some people. But I also think, with that being said, I think people also are being a little harsh,
So he collabed with StockX PSA, and it was also another company, or handling the cards.
Him having to do the collaboration, probably input on how they wanted things to be, and it gets hard. It gets tricky. That's stuff that we may not see.
Not to mention how many people follow Unlisted Leaf and want to get their hands on some celebrations before it drops.
Exactly.
So all those people have to be paid. Demand. There's a lot to it.
That's a lot to it, yeah. Just like that, we said a lot of underwhelming. A lot of people were upset with the PSA thing. People were upset with the payment, how pricey it was. People were upset with how it wasn't as emotional or sentiment as they wanted it to be. How quick it was. Usually they get a little more, a little more time, screen time. And that's the thing I saw. I saw a clip. I forgot the YouTuber, but we'll post him in the description or something. He posted the clip. It shows the whole the opening going on, the event going on. It's really true what they're saying. Like, it's so fast. They're opening the packs. They're like 1, 2, 3, 4, and then go. And it's tough, because maybe these guys weren't even Pokemon fans themselves. Maybe these guys are just paid, or they're just doing this, to help out the situation. So they don't know that. You know what I mean? So that's what I'm saying. It's like you said, there's a lot going on. There's a lot of more team involvement and people in this break, because it was a bigger break. You know what I mean? Like, it wasn't as simple as they think. Like, when it's compared to PokeRev or someone, which, it's hard because they have to do it by themselves, but it's also just them, so they know what they're doing.
Exactly,
everything is just them, so there's no
confusion.
Exactly. And the accountability is all for that one person, to where here it's really hard because everybody's pointing their finger at him. I don't think it's fair to just blame everything on someone that wasn't doing this all by themselves.
Yeah.
You get what I'm saying? There's other components to it, is what I'm trying to say. So then basically with that being said, you know, he quit YouTube after this happened. He had left a message, I think, on Instagram or something, or in Twitter, where he was talking about he was receiving threats. And
death threats, Death
threats, and people were just sending tons of hate, you know what I mean, and negativity towards his way, which I think is really messed up. You know what I mean? I don't think that's cool.
Yeah, nobody should have to go through that.
Exactly. I understand, you know, he might have messed up.
Like, we have to understand, everybody makes mistakes. At the beginning of the celebrations, before it dropped, it was scary, man. You didn't know if you were going to get your set. You had to pre-order everything, and everything you pre-ordered was completely ridiculously priced. And it was getting sold out.
Exactly.
So it's not like it was right there. It seemed like it was bleached. So
yeah, there wasn't an accurate, you know, tag on this on this stuff, so it was hard for him to price it like that. With that being said,
yeah,
and you know, we always see positive things when I've clicked on his videos. Always positive energy. You know, even when I'm watching the people talking about it, it seems like everybody can agree that he's a good guy. You know what I'm saying? He's done a lot for the community. He's done a lot of great things. So I think it's kind of unfair, you know, for people to bash someone over something like this. I think he also, like, we talked about this the other day when we were having a little bit of this discussion, and we said that we think the way he could have handled things could have maybe been a little better, but we also agree that, you know, people go overboard, man. Like, people, you know what I'm saying, are quick to...
they take things to an extreme.
To extreme, exactly. You know what I mean?
Borderline tears.
Yeah, exactly. Almost wanted to quit his job and everything, and he's done a lot. You know, he's built up his channel, all this stuff. Put smiles on millions of people's faces, probably, if I'm, like, you know, if I can assume, right? And for one mistake to drag him like this, you know what I'm saying? So it just sucked when that news had came out, obviously.
Now we're finding out that Unlisted Leaf is back, and he decided that he's only taking a break. For all that stuff to happen to him is just completely ridiculous. He posted his video.
Since 4 weeks? Yeah. About 4 weeks to a month?
After about a month. You can check it out on his channel, linked down below.
We were curious when we saw the video pop up, and we were curious whether he was going to address the situation.
Just slightly kind of like grazed on the subject.
He didn't address the details of anything that happened in that situation, that event. He more so talked about new beginnings, basically trying to get over that stuff and taking the break that he felt was necessary to get back. You know,
for his health,
for his health. I do wanna address, going back real quick, to, you know, the way he handled things. We have to talk about it for a second. He said he was gonna quit YouTube, and then he comes back. As we see other people with questions, we want to know too, like, you know, what do you guys think, in a sense, or how do you guys feel about the way he handles the situation?
Yeah,
you know, addressing it. What do you think? How big do you think the situation is?
Well, I
think in the long term, or what
I think that all depends on his viewers. I think most of his core viewers are so much on his side that I think they'll just look past this ridiculousness and misfortune.
Do you think he's gonna do another box break again, or do you not think that?
Yeah, I think he'll do another box break. It probably won't be handled by a third party company or anything like that. I think
more in-house.
Yeah, I think he would probably do an in-house box break. Okay. However he decides to do it.
I think so too.
And I think it'll probably be a hit. I think he'll probably do well.
Right.
If you support somebody, support somebody. If you support Unlisted Leaf, buy into that box break.
That's what I was going to say.
Because you actually care about Unlisted Leaf.
And I think, you know, this happening is probably a lesson to him, you know what I mean? I don't want to blame it on his sponsors, the people that he worked with, but maybe he realized, you know, if stuff was maybe just in his hands, or he could have just done it better, is basically what I'm trying to say. I don't want to throw anybody under the bus or just, like, talk bad about anybody, because I wasn't there for none of that stuff, right? But regardless, something went wrong, you know what I'm saying, and he learned something from it. So with that being said, I would hope that for the next time, I think it'll be a bang. I think if anything, this next time he might even be a little more on the giving side. And honestly, well, let's going back to the video, you know, his first YouTube video talking about his mental health and everything. He feels bad. He said, you know, I want to start giving back to the community. I want to start doing more openings. And he said, I want to start doing more giveaways if that's what it needs to be. I don't think giveaways are just the way to fix it. I don't think that, you know what I mean? But I do see where he's coming from. My advice, if I could give any to him, right, if this video was ever to reach him, would tell him, you know, do good, and you've been doing good, and your core fan base and people that follow you want you to strive are going to be there regardless. So I think just him being him, doing himself and not quitting, you know what I'm saying, is the best thing he can do for himself. You know, that giving up mentality is never good. I think if anything, he could have maybe apologized, you know what I'm saying, cleared up things a little more in the beginning. People would have, you know what I'm saying, got over it. But, you know, sometimes it's tough. You know, pressure gets to people, and people react differently. And like I said, I'm glad that he didn't do anything extreme. I'm glad he's back. I'm glad that he didn't go through with quitting, because that wouldn't have been fun for anybody in reality. For anybody out there that thinks about, you know, starting box breaks and stuff, you know, look at this stuff as a
learning experience.
Exactly. And I don't think he meant to lose this within the event, but I feel like people really look for that genuine experience, you know, sentiment. They really love, you know, I like to use my example. I love watching PokeRev's, you know, streams and his openings, and they just feel so good, man. You know, they feel so good when he says your name. It feels like those 2 minutes while he's opening his packs, 2-3 minutes, it's a little longer. It's like he's talking to just you and whoever, you know what I'm saying? You're getting your pack open. Like, it just feels wholesome. It feels good. So I can understand too, you know, people were wrong for the way they, you know, were harsh on him, and he did his wrongs too. You know what I'm saying? So people also have the right to be a little, you know, grumpy, a little annoyed with the situation, the death threats and all that stuff. Come on, guys, let's grow up now. You know what I mean? Like, these are real human people with real emotions and stuff that make real mistakes. You know, we all make mistakes, so I think that's the learning lesson here, is you can't be so harsh on everybody. Forgive people. You know what I'm saying? I think there's a lot to learn from the situation. You know, and it just shows you that even the best of people, a good person, he doesn't have really no record for anything bad. It could happen to him. He can make a mistake. You know what I'm saying? It could be the squeakiest clean person. That guy, you know, that never messes up. He could mess up, man, one time. You know, are we gonna blame him for that?
And the world's just against him.
Are we gonna blame that kid that, you know, he's been such a good kid his whole life? No, bro. You know, we're gonna help him back up, and that's what it is. You know, that's what I think we should do as a community. I like to say that the Pokemon community is a pretty nice community. You know what I mean? Whether it's on Facebook, YouTube, TikTok,
Instagram.
Exactly.
Hopefully he'll learn from his mistakes, and we can too. And if we decide to do box breakings in the future, we can do that.
Right?
So.
Don't get on us, guys. Don't come at us if we mess up, please. We're just trying to learn out here. You know what I mean? So appreciate y'all for listening in.
Yeah, thanks for stopping by. Unlisted Leaf, if you're watching by any chance, hope you're doing great, man.
Keep your head up.
Keep it up.
Keep doing you.
Like, comment, and subscribe, and we'll see you next time on the PokeTrap.